No, and we're live, and I'll do the Open Public Meetings Act announcement. All right, good evening. This is a regular meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment for March 2nd, 2022. Notice has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by posting a copy of the notice on the first floor of the municipal building and sending a copy to the Montclair Times, Star Ledger, and Herald News. This is a virtual public hearing. A link for members of the public to join is included in the agenda, which is available on the Montclair website, as is a link to the township's YouTube channel where the hearing can be viewed live. The hearing is also being televised on Channel 34 and will be available for viewing on YouTube after tonight. Before we do roll, I have a couple announcements about items on the agenda that are being carried. Application 2761, which is 376 to 380 Claremont Avenue, is being carried to the April 20th meeting. Application 2778, which is 136 Upper Mountain Avenue, is also being carried to the April 20th meeting. And then finally, application 2775, 51 New Street will also be carried to that April 20th meeting. So with that, I'll go ahead and I will call roll. Mr. Church?
Here.
Mr. McCulloch?
Here.
Mr. Moore? Mr. Simon?
Here.
Mr. Harrison?
Here.
Ms. Harris is excused. Mr. Caulfield is also excused. Mr. Vieira?
Here.
And Mr. Sullivan?
Here.
Okay, we have the minutes of the February 9th meeting. I don't have any changes. Does anyone else have any changes? If not, would someone like to move the minutes?
I'll move the minutes as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Mr. Simon, you would need to abstain.
Yes, abstain.
Then we have the resolution for the Sperber and Milburn property on Watchung Avenue. I don't have any changes to that resolution. Does anyone else have any changes?
Tommy, who's eligible to vote on that?
Everybody except for Mr. Simon.
Thank you.
Move approval of application 2780.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And Mr. Simon is abstaining. Then we have the Montclair Kimberly Academy resolution. I have a couple of changes. At the very last line on page 1, it's referred to as a singular multipurpose field, and then on the next page, it's multipurpose fields, and I think fields is correct, but it should be consistent because both are describing existing conditions. And
Okay, I
then-
made that note.
and then on page 3, number 2, at the end of the first sentence, it should refer to as shown on Exhibit A, and I'm not sure which A exhibit had the fall schedule. In the same way, the preceding sentence and the following sentence link to the exhibit they gave us.
Okay.
I don't have any other changes to that resolution. Anyone else with any changes?
Tommy, who's eligible to vote on that?
Again, everybody but Mr. Simon.
Okay, someone want to move the resolution
I'll move the resolution as presented.
as corrected, hopefully?
Corrected, sorry. Yes.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And Mr. Simon is abstaining. Okay, so we're starting with the 48 Walnut Street application.
Yes, I wanted to say, Mr. Tremulak contacted me this afternoon. He is the board attorney for another municipality's planning board, and he said that he may not be available until 8 o'clock. So in light of that, he's not on right now as an attendee. So we may want to readjust the agenda to put 30 Greenview Way first.
Okay. Let's bear with me 1 second. Okay, so the first application is that of Satya Scainetti, sorry about your name, Jeffrey Kaplan for property at 30 Greenview Way. This is an application for a variance to construct a third floor addition. Property is located in the R1 one-family residential zone and is designated on the township tax maps as Lot 33, Block 4701. Variance is requested from Montclair Code Section 347-45A2, which allows a maximum of 2.5 stories where 3 stories are proposed. Are taxes paid, and is the notice in order?
Yes.
Are the applicants or applicant present? You are. Okay. Would you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth in the matter pending before the board? Okay, I couldn't hear you.
Yes. He said.
Did we get a yes?
You must be muted. We can't hear you.
Mr. Kaplan, it looks like your microphone is inactive. We also have Ms. Scainetti has also been added as a panelist. So if she is on as well, maybe that computer will work. Oh, wait, there we go. Mr. Kaplan, looks like your mic is active. I just unmuted you.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can. And I tried to swear you in, and you're supposed to say I
I
do.
did. Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
Would you state your name and address, please?
Jeff Kaplan, 30 Greenview Way, Montclair.
Thank you, Mr. Kaplan.
Do you want to explain what you're proposing to do with the house?
Yeah, Satya was going to do it, but I don't think we can hear her. Can we hear you, Satya? You have to well, it's okay. So we bought the house a year or so ago, and it's listed as a 5-bedroom house, but there are 2 bedrooms on the 3rd floor. They're both extremely small. One of them, hard to imagine it being called a bedroom, but and it's got a sloped roof as well. That's very difficult to walk around. It also holds some of the air conditioning units. Lynn Williams, I think, is on and is representing us. And we're hoping to dormer it out. And so Ms. Williams has laid out some documentation that I think is available on your screen now. I guess that's what that is. And we're hoping to fix this so our son can use the room as his primary bedroom.
All right, so you want Ms. Williams to testify at this point?
That would be great.
Okay, Ms. Williams, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth in the matter pending before the board?
Lynn, I think you need to figure out how to unmute yourself, which took me a minute also, but if you click on those 3 little dots, you should be able to figure it out.
I think I did too. Do you hear me now?
Oh, there you
Yes.
go. Hi, Satya.
Okay, great.
Is Lynn on also?
She is, because I think she's the one that put
Yes.
this up.
Yes,
Oh,
she's
oh,
pretty.
no, I'm sorry. Ms. Casalivia did.
She is on, but her mic is inactive.
I went to the little microphone and
Yeah.
I'm not sure. She's having.
Lynn, are you on? Satya, you want to try to just call her really quickly? Do you have her number there in front of you? I'm sorry to the team here for this. Our apologies.
That's okay. You got jumped up on the agenda, so
Yeah, I saw that. Maybe she went to have dinner or something. I'm gonna give her a ring. See if she'll answer here.
Let's see if she answers. Maybe she can. Oh boy. Hello. Oh, hi, Lynn.
There you go.
I don't know if everybody can hear her. Are you on? You just, your sound is off.
Can you hear me? I can't figure this sound out.
Okay. Is it okay for her to just talk through my phone?
As long as we can hear her, but she should put her video on also.
Oh yeah, can you put the video so we could see?
Oh gosh. I don't know why it isn't working.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So Lynn, in the bottom of your screen, there's something that right in the middle, there's a little video thing that you should be able to fix.
Start video.
Yeah.
yes.
The blessings and the curses of COVID.
I'm not sure why.
Oh boy. Um,
Okay, well, you guys can see us, right? And we can hear Lynn pretty well. Can we try to use her voice?
Yeah, and just so you know, I'm the one that pulled the plans up. So if she has the plans on her end and wants to guide me through them by sheet number, I have them up.
Okay,
I
good.
can do that.
Okay.
So you can hear me now, right?
Yeah, Lynn, let me just swear you in. Would you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth in the matter pending before the board?
Yes, I do.
State your name and address, please.
Lynn Bright Williams, 211 Park Street, Montclair.
And Ms. Williams, you are a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
And your license is in good standing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, why don't you proceed then?
We are here to request a variance relief to extend an existing rear-facing attic dormer by 12 feet, which will classify the house as 3 stories according to the zoning ordinance, where only 2.5 stories are permitted. The 4th bedroom in this home is undersized in comparison to the other 3 bedroom suites that are on the 2nd floor. And the owner's goal is to turn an existing attic space that's on the attic or the 3rd floor into a functional bedroom. And by doing this, by extending the dormer, we will create usable headroom and be able to add an egress window. So the zoning limit for a 1/2-story dormer width would only allow us to extend 8 feet 4.5 inches. And the area limit for a 1/2-story would only allow an additional 34 square feet. One of the hardships of the house is that the roof springs, and you can see this in the left side elevation. The roof springs from what we call dropped plates or lower spring line than the full height of the room. This has an impact on the area calculation for the 1/2-story because the attic level doesn't cover the entire 2nd story. We're not able to dormer out towards the front for several reasons. There is existing ductwork that's in the way, and the presentation of the house to the street is 1.5 stories, and it wouldn't be a pleasing addition. in terms of the facade. This proposal does meet building code criteria for half story. It just doesn't meet this zoning ordinance definitions.
Mr. McCulloch, do you have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of questions. You mentioned that this is a 4-bedroom house, so there are 3 bedrooms on the second floor, if I'm understanding your presentation correctly, and then there's the 1 bedroom in the attic. Is that correct?
Actually, there's two. There is a small bedroom, and then there's the room that has the tilted roof. So it's considered. It was sold as a 5-bedroom.
5 bedrooms. Okay.
The 1 room is really. So I'm hoping my son can live in that one. He's just getting really tall.
Okay.
He just keeps hitting his head.
Thank you. So the proposal is for this bedroom then to extend across much of the width of the house. How does that spacing compare to bedrooms on the second floor?
The proposal is leave the, if you look at the proposed attic plan, we're proposing to leave the small bedroom as is there.
The 5th bedroom you're speaking about?
Well, I'm going to call it the 4th bedroom. And then to the left of the bathroom is a space that is not really properly finished room. It has drywall and so forth, but it didn't really have fully functional HVAC and doesn't have really any decent ceiling height because of the slope. So the proposal is to take that area and make it a real room. And that would be the bedroom for this particular son.
Mr. McCullough, I don't have the dimensions in front of me, but it would be smaller than, I'm reasonably confident it would be smaller than the 3 bedrooms that are on the second floor, which is I think what you were asking.
Mm-hmm. So if it would be smaller. So
I believe that's true. I mean, we can.
It's a lot small. Yeah.
We can get confirmation on that, but I believe it would be smaller than the 3 bedrooms that are on the second floor.
Yeah, that's actually very helpful. So standing at the street and looking towards the back, then the bedroom would be to the left as part of the new construction. And then
That's right, but it would be behind the house.
Of course.
You wouldn't see it from the street.
No, I understand that. I'm very clear on that. Thank you. So the bedroom will be on the left, and there is a sort of a bath, I think. Is that what I'm seeing? And then there's a storage areas or whatever. We'll call it a multi-purpose space. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, thank you. That helps me. So if we can go back to, so what would the windows look like on the back side of this area? Okay, so there would be 2 double window panels and a single panel. And the single panel would be where the bathroom is that?
Yeah, that's already there. So the only thing we're adding is those 2 windows to the side. So it's going to match up. It actually is going to look aesthetically, in symmetrical. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then the other question I have is, I think I noted somewhere in your presentation that what you're proposing is consistent with other houses in the neighborhood. Is that correct? And so they would also have a sort of again, they would qualify as a 3rd story. Is that what you were indicating in your proposal?
I don't think I said anything about other houses.
Can someone speak to that?
I mean, all the houses on the block have second and third stories, if that's what you're referring to.
What qualifies as a third story, of course, would be the width of the dormer in the back that you're proposing. So that's I'm just trying to understand what this would look like in comparison to the properties that are in your neighborhood.
I mean, actually, our house, it's definitely smaller than the other houses. I mean, from the viewpoint forward, the inside space is quite large, but I mean, both of my neighbors do have their third floor as well. I haven't been in them yet. Haven't been invited over, but I know that you know, there's so many families and they're all 5-bedroom homes, some 6. This was sold as a 5-bedroom, and during the crazy moment of buying a house right now, we went in. We only saw the house once, and the bids went in, and it was one of those moments. So I was like, "Ooh, I don't even remember that second bedroom." Anyway, I have 2 young boys, and one of them is living in the tiny room. So I'm hoping to get him into a larger room.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Church, Mr. Church, do you have any questions?
Not right now, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Simon, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Mr. Vieira, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I just have 1 or 2. The existing dormer, how far is that set back from the edge of the roof? The side part.
Let me just check. My feet setback. Looking from the side,
Right.
it's just under 2 feet.
And how far is the new dormer going to be set back from that side of the roof below it?
The same.
Okay, so it'll end up being symmetrical, is that correct?
And while we're looking at that view, this house is not as tall as some of the neighboring houses. And that has to do with all the dropped plate and that expression in the front of a 1.5.
You see that?
So the massing is a little smaller.
No. The house that's next to you to the south was this giant house that's out of place that was built a long time ago now, but it stuck out much more like a sore thumb when it was originally built compared to the other houses in the neighborhood, but that's neither here nor there at this point.
Well, we're planning on squashing their house down a little bit.
It is a very large house.
Yeah, it's on a double lot. The nicest couple ever. Like, yeah, anyway.
Okay. Any other questions from members of the board? Okay, now we get to the fun part of the evening. For members of the public, if you have any questions, testimony, statements, anything you want to say about the application, this is now your opportunity. We're going to unmute all the microphones and speak up if you want to say something. If you're watching on the town's YouTube channel or on the local access channel, call in now very quickly to the number that's there on the screen, and we will hear what you have to say. But this is your chance, if you're a member of the public with any comments or questions, anything you want to say about the application, this is your opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison.
The chat function is also being monitored, so if you're not being heard for some reason, you can type your question into the chat.
We'll wait a little longer just to be sure people have an opportunity to connect to us in some way. Okay. Tommy, any indication of any stirrings?
No stirrings.
Okay. Is there anything, any of the three of you want to add before we discuss and vote on the application?
I mean, I'm sure there are people on here for all sorts of reasons, and I just want to express my appreciation to the people for making the effort to do this. This is important work, and I'm sure it's not all for salary. So we appreciate the effort that the folks that commit their time and energy to the community give.
Okay, we'll start discussion with Mr. Church.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I have really no problems with this addition. Considering the fact that it is one of the smaller houses, and it's really not going to be a detriment to the neighborhood because it's in the back of the property. I believe that it will enhance the house and the value of the house. So I would vote in favor of this application as presented.
Okay, Mr. McCulloch.
I think I would echo the sentiments of Mr. Church. I don't see that this is detrimental in any way to the neighborhood. I do think that this will enhance the value of the property based on what I'm able to ascertain. It will not adversely affect the neighbors in any form or fashion. And so I also would be in favor of this. And unless their child grows to be 8 feet tall, hopefully this will satisfy their needs for the next few years.
Mr. Steinman.
I'm in favor.
Mr. Vieira.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm also in favor of this application. The application is pretty straightforward. The architect did a great job explaining what the proposed construction will be. So I'm definitely in favor. Thank you.
I'm also in favor of the application. Well, I was actually surprised when I drove down the street that there aren't a lot of 3 stories. This house will continue to present really as a 1.5 story from the street. And, I think they're making the house symmetrical. Where the existing dormer is, will not be visible from the street. So this will not result in a substantial impairment of the zone plan or a substantial detriment to the public good. Does someone want to make a motion to approve the application?
I would so make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, go do your addition and make your child happy.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
everybody.
it.
Okay.
Much
Great.
appreciated.
Good
bet.
luck.
Thank you. Hey, Lynn.
Satya, you got to mute.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna, okay. Boy, I'm telling you.
As
Just so I'm still not seeing Mr. Tremulak on yet.
I just reached out to him by text to see his status, but I haven't heard back yet.
hopefully that means he's resituating himself. Tommy, do you know, was this a virtual meeting he was attending?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he didn't say.
You want to do Meranus, Bill?
Sure, yeah. Why don't you introduce and say, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so I sent the board a letter today advising them that the board is a defendant in a lawsuit filed by Stephen Meranus and Leigh Meranus against the Township of Montclair, Montclair Township Historic Preservation Commission, this board, and Richard Sharoon in his capacity as administrative officer. I set forth the claims basically against the zoning board. The claim is that the resolution which denied their appeal from the HPC was arbitrary, capricious, and unreasonable. I'm asking that the board authorize me to defend this matter. So that should be done by motion.
If anyone wants to discuss, we need to go in closed session. If not, someone just needs to make a motion for Mr. Sullivan to defend the board.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I
Any
did hear back
opposed?
from Mr. Trebulak. He indicates that he just finished in the other municipality. He will log in and call his client.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm going to make the property owner a panelist as well as the architect. So that when Mr. Tremulak's on, they're able to unmute and turn their videos on as well.
Mr. Chairman, just so everyone knows, I did advise Mr. Tremulak that we only have 5 board members, and he indicated to me that when he comes on, he's likely going to ask to be carried.
Yes, I agree with that.
So what are we supposed to do with all of this additional time we now have in our lives?
I don't know. Do you have any talents?
All right, Mr. Tremulak is on as a attendee. He's a panelist now. Having trouble making him a panelist for some reason.
While you're doing that, let me read the announcement so we're formally started, and hopefully by then Alan will be ready to say whatever. Okay. The next application is out of 48 Walnut LLC. This is for property located at 48 Walnut Street. This is an application for site plan approval to renovate and expand an existing 3-family dwelling. The proposed improvements include a new 2-car garage and a relocated parking area with 5 surface parking areas. The property is located in the R2 2-family zone and is designated as block 4308, lot 8 on the township tax maps. In addition to site plan approval, the applicant has applied for several variances. One, a variance pursuant to variance to expand the existing 3-family dwelling, which is a legal non-conforming use in the R2 zone. A variance from Montclair Code Section 347-51 to permit a portion of the expanded building to be 35.57 feet high, whereas the ordinance provides for a maximum permitted height of 35 feet. Are taxes paid, and is the notice in order?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Tremulak, Mr. Sullivan alerted you that we were only 5. How do you wish to proceed?
We
Alan,
can't.
we can't hear you.
It's the three dots on the right.
Okay. I should be out. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Start rushing to log on, and of course, the computer never cooperates when you're in a hurry.
So now he's frozen.
Oh yes, all this.
He's gone away.
Is the planner for this application George Weedle Williams?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I call him?
I think he's trying to get back on now.
He's indicated he's going to call in.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not able to add George as a panelist for some reason. I'm not given permission to do that. Not sure why. I can unmute him though, so we can at least do that.
I have no idea how happy I'll be when we return to live meetings.
You got it right. It's absolutely right.
Oh, we have a call in. This may be him. I'm going to unmute the person who has called in. Hello?
Yeah, it's me, Alan Trembulac. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Oh, brother. As soon as I thought I was connected with my computer, my screen kind of went blank. So sorry about that. Mr. Chairman, as I was saying, I did have a chance to speak with my client as I was logging into the meeting, and we're going to ask that the application be postponed given the fact that there's only 5 members present tonight.
Okay, so Tommy, how fully booked are we for April 20th now that we had several applications seeking to go there tonight?
April 20th is quite full. Yeah, it's pretty full. I think we have 6 or 7 applications so far.
Okay, so members of the board know, and this is awkward with only having 5 of us, because we couldn't find any takers, it was too late to do anything for the March 16th meeting. We couldn't find any takers for the April 6th meeting, so we thought we were just going to go on to April 20th, but now that's very full. And are board members available for April 6th? The 4 of you who are here?
I will be here. I will make myself available.
Mr. Chairman, does that mean that we're splitting the number of applications for those 2 dates?
It's we tried to do that and we couldn't find any takers for the April 6th date. They all wanted April 20th because they needed to finish their income taxes before they went before the board. I don't know why, but Tommy and I tried to get a couple of applications on the 6th without success, and I think the agenda that night is, assuming none of the people postpone again, and we've had a couple of the people postpone a couple of times, it'll be a very busy evening.
Well, I can be available on the 6th.
More or less.
Me too.
Jerry, are you? Jerry, are you?
Mr. Simon, you're muted.
Yes, I should be there.
Okay. So, and Alan, does that work for you and your client and your witnesses?
It certainly works for me and my client, and I believe my witnesses are on the call, or on the
I've unmuted
video.
Mr. Williams. He's unmuted, so he should be able to speak.
And Paul Simonis, are you available April 6th?
Paul, you were muted.
Yes, we got a thumbs up.
And George, are you
Yeah.
available?
George may have some technical issues, Mr. Chairman. If he's not available, we'll have someone from his office fill in, or if I have to, I'll get someone else. But I don't want to, we'd like to go forward on that date and appreciate the board willingness to schedule a special meeting for that.
So schedule, okay. So this matter is being continued until April 6th. There will be no further notice. Do you grant us an extension of time if necessary, Mr. Trembulac?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and so if you're interested in this application, we will see us on virtual screen on April 6th. Go to the township website and the login information will be there. And we'll see you then.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.
And we need a motion to adjourn. We're getting, don't get too spoiled as my only admonition to the board members. I mean, this probably April 6th should not last all that long, but I think by April 20th, we will have a busy evening unless more people postpone.
Mr. Chair, in terms of in-person meetings, has there been any discussion
Yeah.
as to plans or ETA when that would happen?
Not that I am aware of. And I think the township needs to do it uniformly and not have some boards in person and some, it's, Tommy, can you check with Janice and just get an idea whether there've been discussions and where people are heading?
I know it came up at the planning board meeting on Monday, but nothing has been decided officially yet. As soon as, of course, if anything is decided, everybody will be made aware as soon as possible.
Well, and obviously for the public applicants and as well as us, we need to know as far in advance. I mean, applicants need to do notice correctly for the type of meeting it is. So it's probably going to be a month lag time.
Right. So we have people noticed for the April 20th meeting already. I don't believe anybody's noticed for May 18th yet.
So, I mean, so April 20th is by definition is going to have to be a virtual meeting. And hopefully by the time we get there, we'll know what we're doing in May. Any other discussion, comments? And if not, someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good night, all.
Good
See
night.
you in a month.
Good night.
Night, everybody.